Yes guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a brand new video. Today, let's talk about 5 strikers that I think Arsenal should sign this summer. Now, without doubt, Arsenal need a striker badly. They're in a very bad position. They only have Edin Ketia. If the season started right now, they would only have Edin Ketia. Or I should say, we would have only Edin Ketia. And that is not being in a very good position, considering the fact that Arsenal want to get from this to this level. So what are the 5 names that I think Arsenal should be looking at this summer as potential big strikers for the big Mikel Arteta project? Do me a favor, hit the like button for me, and also you can subscribe if you like the content. Your role in the comments is to let me know your preferred striker this summer. Just one for Arsenal. Let's get into it. Number 5, I've gone with Paulo Dybala. Paulo Dybala has been at Juventus for over 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, and to be pretty sure, he's been really doing very, very well. He's won a couple of Scudettos with Juve, around 6 Scudettos. That is a monopoly in Italy. I even don't want to talk about it. But the two parties actually decided to part ways. They disagreed on how much Paulo Dybala should be earning. Dybala has been offered to Tottenham, Manchester United, and Arsenal as well. I think a couple of other clubs in and around Europe have also inquired about him. But the problem is wages. But my question with Paulo Dybala, would he work under Mikel Arteta and the system that he's trying to build at Arsenal? And the answer is an absolute yes. I think Arsenal looking for a player who can play flexibly, across that forward line, on the left, on the right, and also down through the middle. He's not your typical number 9, not a 100m Osimhen, not a Darwin Nunez, but at least one striker that you think is so flexible, and he can play as a false 9. I think Mikel Arteta would love that at Arsenal. The wages could be a problem. He's asking for around 10 to 15 million euros per year, or even more than that. Arsenal are not willing to offer. It looks like Inter Milan is the club that are going to be signing him, and they'll be only taking him at around 5 million euros per year. In my opinion, Arsenal should be going for him. The fact that he's available on a free, it is an absolute blessing. 28 years of age, you think he still has a lot to offer in his career, and that is his prime. He's been overshadowed by the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo at Juve, and then when he left, Juve signed in Dusan Vlahovic. I don't think Juve let him go by mistake. His role at Juventus as striker was actually gone. Yes, now they have Chiesa, they have Weston McKennie, and Dusan Vlahovic. That looks like the 3 that is going to take Juventus forward. So Paulo Dybala as main striker, as support striker at Juve, I don't see that happen anymore. But at a club like Arsenal, a club that is looking for that massive jump in terms of quality, because he's played at a top level for almost 7 years. He's 28. He's 28. He joined Juve at around 21 or 20. So he's played at a top level for a big club for around 8 years. He will bring in that winning mentality that he comes in from Juve. He's not won the Champions League, so Arsenal would not be looking for someone to lead them to win the UEFA Champions League in Paulo Dybala. But at least you have someone who knows what it means to win some silverware. So for me, Paulo Dybala would have been a very, very good fit. Fabrizio says he would be going to Inter Milan, but if Arsenal think right, Paulo Dybala would be a very, very good move. The wages, but if you're getting him on a free, then why care about the wages? Probably 200k per week. That would actually do the deal. I don't think he's leaving Juventus on bad terms, that he's not actually doing very well or he's dipped in form or anything. I think he's a player in his prime, and he's only leaving Juventus because they cannot pay him the amount of money he wants. So if Arsenal feel they can pay him the money he wants, why not? Number 4, Robert Lewandowski. Now this one, listen to me before you throw bananas at my camera. Listen to me. I think Robert Lewandowski is one player that I would recommend for Manchester United. I would recommend for Barcelona. I would recommend for Manchester City. I would recommend for any club in and around Europe. The point with Robert Lewandowski is also the same point with Paulo Dybala. They're just tired. They just want something new. And Arsenal, as Robert Lewandowski looks for something new, Arsenal would be something new. because from Bayern to Arsenal, that is something new. The question with Robert Lewandowski would be where he wants to go and what kind of step he wants to make in his career. Is he willing to come up from Bayern down to Arsenal just in the name of having an adventure and making and just having a different kind of feel, or does he want to go to a club like Real Madrid or Barcelona, a club that is very likely to give him a chance to win the UEFA Champions League very, very soon before he retires? But why I think Arsenal should try to get Robert Lewandowski: one, he's told Bayern he doesn't want to go, he wants a different challenge, and they're looking for a proven goal scorer. I think with Martin Odegaard, Saka, and Gabriel Martinelli in that side, if you bring in a player like Robert Lewandowski, one player that doesn't really underscore his XG, but is trying to almost give up, score the same amount of goals as his expected amount of goals. There are very few players in Europe that are doing that. One is Erling Haaland, the other is Dusan Vlahovic, and of course the king, Karim Benzema. But of course, Robert Lewandowski is on top of that list. If you ask me how many times has he won the European Golden Boot, I don't know. He's always winning it. He's averaging 30 goals per campaign for Bayern Munich in no competitions. Arsenal, if you want, I don't know if that deal could happen. It's a difficult one, like I said. But if Arsenal are looking to elevate their attack, elevate their mindset, and also bring in someone who can just symbolize, transition, Robert Lewandowski would be the name. Probably not one that you're going to keep for 5 years. He's got the longevity in his career. Probably he's 34, 35. So if you keep him for 3 more years, you can let him go at 37. You can send him to China or in America. But as Arsenal look for a proven striker, Robert Lewandowski in the shadows for me, Arsenal should think about that. Number 3, I've gone with Gianluca Scamacca, a player that has come into our attention over the past season at Sassuolo. He's been absolutely brilliant for them. And with Gianluca Scamacca, one thing I think Arsenal would get is the physicality. Now, do not get me wrong, but if you look at our attack as a club, it lacks that, it lacks that physical threat. Odegaard, no, physically. Saka, not there yet physically. And Gabriel Martinelli, physically, also not there. So you feel like all these players are very, very brilliant, especially on the ball. Martin Odegaard is an absolute genius when it comes to creating the chances. Bukayo Saka, when it comes to assisting and getting himself into goal scoring positions, has also been absolutely magnificent. And Gabriel Martinelli, wow, boy oh boy, he is going to be the next big thing in the Premier League. But you think when it comes to defenders like Virgil van Dijk, when it comes to defenders like Thiago Silva, Arsenal do not have players that can offer the same amount of competition in the air, number one, and even if it's not in the air, physically. And I think that is what Gianluca Scamacca would actually bring. He's 6.4, 6.5, feet tall. That guy is a giant, just gigantic. His hold-up play is absolutely phenomenal. He's very, very young. There's so many things he can learn in the Premier League. And for me, he was built for the Premier League. And the fact that Sassuolo will be selling for around 35-40 million euros, Arsenal should explore that deal. One striker that you're going to have for 5 years, 8 years, 10 years, if he works out. And if he doesn't work out, I don't think Arsenal will be failing to move him on. His resale value will be very, very high. And like I said, his ceiling is very, very high as well. So Gianluca Scamacca linked with Arsenal. I think they should try to get him. Number 2, one that is very, very pricey, but very, very good, Darwin Nunez. And for me, lads, the fact that Arsenal wanted to sign Darwin Nunez in January for around 55 million euros tells the story. Benfica did very well. They said, we are not giving you the player in January, and we're not letting go of the player for anything below 80 million euros. A deal has been agreed verbally between Benfica and Liverpool for Darwin Nunez, and around 80 million euros plus 20 million euros in bonuses. That is a hell lot of money. 100 million euros. But in my opinion, if Arsenal wanted him in January, they should have gone back for him. I think 80 million euros. There are reports that they've tried to bid 80 million euros for Victor Osimhen. If they bid 80, 90 million euros for Victor Osimhen, then they should be looking at Darwin Nunez as well. He wants UEFA Champions League football, so it's going to be hard to take him out of the hands of Liverpool. But I think he's one of those young strikers that can elevate Arsenal from this level to that level. The project of Mikel Arteta needs a face, and Darwin Nunez has got the ability to be the face of that young project. He's averaging at least 20 goals per campaign, and for me, he's one of those young strikers that have the ability to average 20 goals per campaign every campaign if he doesn't get injured. Built for the Premier League, his physicality is absolutely very, very good. His older play is also very good. Very young, only 21 years of age. He's coming in at a very, very big price. So if it doesn't work out, then you cannot move him on. But I don't think Arsenal should be thinking about that for a player at that age. They should be thinking in the next 3 years, he's going to be the next big thing. And finally, in number 1, I've gone with Victor Osimhen. Now, the reason as why I've not included Gabriel Jesus in this list is because I think he lacks that physical ability. And why I've gone with Victor Osimhen, Mikel Arteta loves the player, and he's one of those very, very young African strikers that I think are absolutely on fire. Napoli are also asking for 100 million euros to sell the player. He's not actually had a campaign where he's blown, but he's very, very promising. The potential is in there. There is a very, very good player in there. And if Arsenal want to invest in a long-term striker, in a long-term player who is going to eventually come around and start scoring for you 20, 25 goals in all competition every campaign, Victor Osimhen would be the one. So let me know, which player do you think Arsenal should sign as striker this summer? And I'll speak to you in the next one.